I get the sense that to begin with he was quite keen to do well, and that he did the reading and he met the tutors, and he was applying himself in the way I suppose that Oxford kind of expected him to apply himself, like all the other students. But then gradually he kind of falls out with that, with the tutors, with the kind of ideas that Oxford is kind of sort of imposing on him as ways of thinking. Is that fair?
I mean, it's a fair reading. I think that he, in a sense, he just builds an alternative curriculum for himself. So the ideas of reading, the pursuit of reading, is still important to him. So even as he refuses to participate in the tutorial system, he continues to read, he continues to expand his mind, he continues to do all the things that are important in him as a person, the things that are important in his writing career, in his writing project. He builds them on his own terms. So I think that there's just a refusal to participate in the system, in the curriculum, and being part of Oxford.
Those kind of structures that he didn't, that kind of discipline that he wasn't necessarily subscribing to. So he had an alternative way of looking at what he was supposed to be doing. So that's very interesting. So in a way he was using Oxford, or he was using the facilities, the resources of the college, of the university, in order to kind of expand his own horizons, but in a different direction.
That's precisely what happens. I think once he arrives, I mean, he's a genuinely curious, genuinely interested person. So he gets invested in every space he lives in, So he is not detached, So whatever is happening, the tussle that's happening, the tensions that grow, around his living arrangements, around his relationships within the college, it's still a way of relating with space, So it brings up his own, traumas. From Rhodesia, from Zimbabwe, the traumas of living in England in the 1970s, when there are also racial tensions broadly across the country. So there's so much that is going on, and I think in the end, all of these tensions, coalesce into his writings. So that becomes the basis of his fiction, the basis of his of who he becomes later on.